The Goat and the Donkey. There lived a goat and a donkey in a farmer house. The goat envied the donkey because the donkey was given more to eat. So the goat told a lie to the donkey under the guise of giving him advice.
You are always being punished. You constantly have to turn the millstone or carry heavy burdens,
said the goat.
Why don't you pretend to have a fit and throw yourself into a ditch?
Yay! That's a good idea!
The donkey listened to his words, and he fell into the ditch. But soon the donkey was badly scraped and bruised. The farmer called a doctor to remedy him. The doctor said that the lungs of a goat was needed. At once they killed the goat and healed the donkey.
There lived a very diligent farmer in the country. He had 3 sons. He worked all day long in his grape fields. But his 3 sons played all day long. They were all very lazy. The farmer was worried about them.
Son, can you help me? There is so much work to do. I need your help. I can't work alone.
However, despite his plea, nobody helped him.
I am busy, Father.
I am too tired, Father.
Weather is too hot to work.
They all made excuses to avoid working. Finally, the farmer grew ill and couldn't work anymore. When he was about to die, he thought,
What will happen to my sons after I die? They are all lazy and they never work. They will starve to death. How can I change them?
He pondered and pondered. He called his 3 sons and said,
When I die, please take care of the grape fields. I buried treasures there, so keep the fields. Find the treasures and share them together.
The 3 brothers believed what the father had told them. The next day, after their father died, they all went to work. The 3 brothers dug and dug, but they couldn't find any treasures.
Where is the treasure?
Father must have buried them very deep in the field.
Let's dig deeper.
There is no treasure here. We dug up the whole field for nothing.
There was no treasure, but their field was filled with delicious grapes. Their grapes were the largest and sweetest among all others. They became rich by selling the grapes.
If we work hard, we can get it.
That is the treasure that Father had told us about.
And finally, the 3 sons realized their father's wisdom and became good farmers like their father.
The Shepherd Boy and the Wolf. There was a young shepherd boy in a country. He watched over his sheep at the hill every day. It was rather lonely for him all day. One day, he wanted a little excitement. So he thought upon a plan. He decided to trick the villagers.
Wolf! Wolf! Help!
He shouted loudly. Hearing the shepherd boy's cry, the villagers ran to help the boy. When they arrived, they saw no wolf. They saw only the shepherd boy.
I fooled you.
The shepherd giggled. The villagers warned him not to call again. The next week, the boy shouted again.
Wolf! Wolf!
Once again, the people ran to him. But they found no wolf. This pleased the boy so much, because he tried the same trick and the villagers came to help him. The next day, a wolf actually did come to the hill. It began to worry the sheep.
Wolf! Wolf! Help!
The shepherd boy cried out more louder than before, but this time nobody came to help him.
He's trying to trick us again.
Finally, he watched the wolf kill his sheep. The salt merchant and his donkey. Once there was a merchant who owned a donkey. He heard that salt was cheaper by the seashore, so he decided to go into the salt business. He went and loaded his donkey with salt and then headed back home. At a certain moment, the donkey accidentally lost his footing and fell into a stream. So the salt dissolved, and his load was more light. The donkey was thus able to rise easily to his feet. The next time the merchant led the donkey to load him with an even greater salt than before. As the donkey arrived at the stream where he had fallen before, he sank to his knees on purpose this time. Then he leapt quickly to his feet. The merchant realized what was happening. So this time he brought back home a big load of sponges. On their way back across the stream, the donkey fell down on purpose as before. But the sponges grew heavy with water. The donkey had to carry a burden that was twice as heavy as it had been to begin with. The Ants and the Grasshopper. In a field one summer's day, a grasshopper was singing to its heart's content, but an ant worked hard.
Come here and play with me.
The grasshopper said to the ant.
No, I have to help to lay up food for the winter,
said the ant. The ant continued its work. When the winter came, the grasshopper found itself dying of hunger. The ants shared corn and grain from the stores they had collected in the summer. A grasshopper came to the ant and begged for a little food. The ants asked him,
"Why did you not lay up food during the summer?"
So he regretted having been idle for the summer. The Donkey in the Lion's Skin. One day, a donkey found a lion's skin. He put it on and went towards his village. All animals fled at his approach, and he was a proud donkey that day. In his delight, he lifted up his voice and brayed. Then everyone knew him. Shortly afterwards, a fox came up to him and said,
"Ah, I knew you by your voice."
The Fighting Cocks and the Eagle. Once upon a time, there were two cocks living in the same farmyard. One day, they flew up to fight with beak and claw. They fought until one of them was beaten and crawled off to a corner to hide. At last, the cock that had won the battle flew to the top of the henhouse. And he proudly flapped his wings to tell the world about his victory. Then an eagle heard the boasting and carried him off to his nest. His rival saw the deed, and he came out of his corner. He took his place as master of the farmyard.
One day, the mountain spirits called all the birds to gather around and said,
"We are going to pick the prettiest bird among all the birds. The prettiest bird will be our king."
And all the birds were invited to the grand party.
I wonder who will be picked.
I am the prettiest. I will be picked.
Who knows? It can be any bird.
I want to be picked. It should be me.
They were all very excited. A crow wanted to go to the party too. So the crow jumped into the pond and washed its black feathers again and again.
Oh no, I am too dark and dirty. Why am I so ugly? I wish I wasn't a crow.
The crow came up with an idea when he saw the colorful fallen feathers on the ground.
Aha! I have a good idea. I will cover myself with all these feathers.
The crow put on the fallen feathers. Soon, birds from all over the country gathered in front of the mountain spirits.
"I have never seen such a beautiful bird. Who are you?"
asked the spirit.
I am a crow.
"You are the most beautiful bird. Oh, you will be the king."
Thank you. I am so happy.
The crow was so happy that he moved a lot, showing off his beauty. And then the feathers started falling off.
What is that? Those are my feathers.
Oh, that's my feather too.
You have deceived us.
All of the birds went to the crow and picked their feathers off the crow. The colorful crow turned into a black crow again.